Oh, oh, buckle up. We got a good one tonight. Check this out right here. Be sure to comment below. Tell me everything. Let's get into it.
Beautiful finding. Because they were mapping at the time. People were mapping how the brain works, and this is how they were figuring out what the hypothalamus does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's interesting stuff.
Yeah, I was proud to be a part of it. It was good education.
How long did you do that stuff? How long did you do those studies?
A couple of years.
A couple of years.
Yeah, I taught endocrinology too.
Oh, did you really?
Well, everybody in the grad program had to.
You taught endocrinology.
Yeah. Yeah. I did the brain part of it. So, and you had to. Graduate students had to.
Like the hypothalamus and the pituitary and
The third ventricle, man. You know what that is?
What's the third ventricle?
It's an open space in the middle of your head.
Really?
And it's filled with a fluid. It's the water of life.
The water of life.
Yeah, and this fluid has all
Did people in ancient times try to drink that water of life from people's heads?
Oh, you know they did. Do you want to see the texts?
I'm sure the text can verify this.
Baby brains, man.
Baby brains.
Yeah.
What?
No, they used to bleed them too. Yeah.
So what is this, Steve? What are we looking at?
This is the third ventricle.
Beautiful.
Okay. The third ventricle. Is it just, does it say it's just liquid in there or what?
Yeah, it's a pristine pool. It's beyond.
What is the purpose of it? What is it? What is the function?
To carry the messengers.
That's the scientific description of what it does.
Yeah, actually it is. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Because it's communicating with all the tissue that it's overlapping. It's communicating.
Okay.
And that little special area of the brain, there's the three ventricles,
right,
is like pristine. That has to be the purest, totally beyond the barrier for any sort of infection. Right? If you've got an infection there, you're dead.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, lots of brains. I cut up lots of brains.
So, at what point in your life did you start writing this infamous dissertation that got suppressed by the heads of the department in classics when you started writing about the use of drugs in antiquity?
That's from that exact point.
Okay.
I picked up Professor Romer came to me.
Professor Romer.
Yeah. Frank
University
Romer.
of Wisconsin?
Yeah, at the time he was at University of Wisconsin. I think he went out somewhere in California. But Frank Romer, and he said, "Hey," he said, "I know you."
I know there's a lot more to that story. Let's get to it.
Beautiful.
There's a drug that Mary Magdalene gives to Jesus. I hate using the Bible because then all the Gnostics will start yelling. But there's a drug that Mary Magdalene gives to Jesus, right? And if you check it out in the Greek, there's not one name for one plant. You guys all know that, right? Because you live that. But modern classicists don't. And in these texts, you have all sorts of different names. You have street names for drugs. Opium. You don't call it opium in the ancient world. You call it the juice. We know she gives it to him before the garden. Before he ends up in the garden, that's where he's betrayed. When he's in the garden, he's with that kid in the garden. Is there an association? Was there a reason that he had the linen cloth? The kid had a linen cloth. What do we know about linen? What kind of ceremonies is that used in? Why is it that Jesus' apostles are standing at a distance? Why is it a public park? Why is Jesus dealing with a prostitute in the first place? And what is that prostitute? That's what our understanding of the term is. How did the Greeks and the Romans and the Hellenists that lived in the mishmash of Judea, how did they interpret that?
Oh, how did they interpret the linen and the prostitutes?
Jesus, we're just thieves.
Yeah, that's how they translate it. That's how they translate
Now,
it.
say that again,
This is not
because I
on
missed some of
what
it.
it was. So why in the Bible do they explain that the guys who were being crucified next to Jesus were just thieves?
Yeah, that's how they translate it. That's how they translate it.
And
Lay
again, this
stays.
is not on purpose. They just accidentally did this.
How are you going to translate
But
it?
isn't it convenient that isn't it convenient for them that they left all this out?
Oh, you are right on top of it, detective. No, seriously, write your dissertation now. Why would you choose between a kid having a linen garment and a bandage on his parts? And why would you choose to present Jesus in a way that's not accurate to the sources? I'm not saying to anybody's interpretation. There's no room for interpretation here. It's just what do the sources say? He's a lay stace,
Which is a pimp.
Lay
which is
stays.
basically a trafficker. Yeah.
Which was looked down upon, which was frowned upon back then.
Because it's an active, organized
Back
crime.
then, not so much today.
But
with
a
those
civil
people.
crime.
You've got boys of Galilee, and those boys of Galilee, they're entrenched in the.
But didn't you say that when the people approached Jesus in the park, you called them cops? They were like ancient
Roman
cops. Did they have chest cams?
No, but they had big weapons. He notes it, and I have that.
And he said, and according to Matthew, the first thing he said is, "I am not a lay stace or a trafficker."
Right. He said, "I'm not a lay stace, man." He says, "Why did you come out here? Why did you come out here with all your heavy weapons like I'm a lay stace?"
Right.
Right.
He said
So,
that.
Well, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was just trying to get the antidote.
Well, it could be, but he's making a big deal about it, right?
Right.
For some reason. And he's standing there contextually right next to a kid. So, maybe he's trying to give an answer for why there's a kid with him in a public park at 4 a.m.
If I'm his lawyer, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes. No, more importantly, what's that kid actually doing? And I think that's the question.
What do you think?
The evidence only shows that he could be one of these boy dudes who's providing the people who are in the cult with the galene.
Okay.
With the thing that's going to balance whatever it is
communion.
that Jesus has taken that's put him into a state. And it doesn't work, and he ends up dying on the cross. And if you notice in the resurrection, we just had Easter. Did anybody notice it's another boy?
We just had an Easter and we just had an eclipse.
Yeah, another boy with Jesus in the tomb. Don't you remember?
No.
Yes.
I never read the Bible.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't. That's right. Oh, we got to start reading the Bible more.
Should I read it?
Yeah, I think you should.
Which version should I read?
The Greek version.
Because Tillman is a master of classics, master of Greek, master of the language. Let's have more.
Then there's Craig Long we arrested. He's 41. Some of you may recognize him. He's an influencer. He also owns Craig Long Fitness in Tampa. He was seeking the services of a prostitute. Did I tell you that he's married?
A lot of that going around lately.
125 followers on Instagram, 568 followers on TikTok. Well, I'm going to give him some content for his social media today. He was a previous felon who straightened up, really what we want to see in life. Now he's an influencer. He moves in big circles, even with the president. This is a photograph with the president and his son not long ago. Now, we like to see people who make mistakes early in life, and he had a long history straighten up. We like the fact that he likes the cops. Heck, he liked them so much, he got caught up in a sting and got to be up and real close with the cops. We asked what his attitude was. They said, he had a great attitude. He appreciates law enforcement. Well, there you go. Got arrested in a human trafficking sting. Influenced that for a while. Then there's Craig Long we arrested.
Man, you gotta hate that.
Did you know there's a moment during Jesus' arrest so strange that it's only mentioned once and never explained? As the soldiers seized Jesus in the garden, chaos broke out. The disciples fled. And then the Bible adds one unexpected detail. And there followed him a certain young man, having a linen cloth cast about his naked body. When the soldiers tried to grab him, he left the linen cloth and fled from them naked. No name, no explanation, just fear and flight. In the moment Jesus stood firm, everyone else ran. The arrest continued. Jesus did not resist, he did not flee. Only one man walked willingly toward the cross, and he did it for us, to save us from the consequences of our own sins and give us eternal life with him. Turn to Jesus today for salvation, forgiveness, and everlasting peace. Subscribe for more Bible stories and comment which one you want to hear next. Did you know there's a moment during...
Especially if you're a
Who
late
is
stage.
Galen?
He works for Marcus Aurelius.
Check it out.
Who was Galen? Can you explain who Galen was?
Yeah, Galen is a 2nd century physician. He works for Marcus Aurelius, the emperor, and he's probably one of the greatest intellects of Western civilization. He wrote thousands and thousands and thousands of pages. Probably 10% of it has been translated, if that, if 10%.
Wow.
And nobody goes near the pharmaceutical stuff. Now, in 2013, I saw for the first time a dissertation was written in which the person translated Galen's theriac.
What's a theriac?
A theriac is a multi-drug component that's used to balance a poison or death bringer, they call them.
So like an antidote?
Yeah, exactly an antidote, but they called it a galenic reaction. That's to bring the balance of the one that can kill you with the one that can keep you alive.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. What's the point of that?
To die and to be born again.
That's always the thing, to die and be born again. That's the
I
cure.
cannot believe
Dying.
what I'm seeing in this video. Do you see it? What's weird about this FIFA World Cup thing right here? Y'all, it's literally in the presence of two separate angels. And heck no, I'm not talking about the people. This is literally the outside is like a throne or an orphan, and then the inside is like a cherubim. Y'all, why in the world would they shape this award the exact way that the Bible describes certain angels? Not to mention we've been having these things pop up in the sky lately. I'm sure this video right here is fake, but then we had this image which was going around when we had the Dior bags going around. But these things have been seen everywhere. By the way, I got surprised at the end. Gonna do a fast forward real quick. People are finally finding out what stars really are, not to mention we have these scientists coming out with the Dyson spheres. By the way, watch how fast this video gets copied. It's March 7th at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Now the bonus, have you ever played Final Fantasy VII? Well, Sephiroth's actually the devil and a seraphim, just like the Bible. Different stages of the last boss are literally different power level angels. And you know that grievingly strong attack he uses? You know, that wipes out the whole earth in the game? What is this? Nasha? Apophis? Google Images says 2029 a meteor is gonna wipe us out? You don't say. But anyways, why do y'all think they made the award in the shape of angels? Or am I reaching?
Oh, I don't think you're reaching at all. They do it all for a reason. That's to get ya.
The Israeli government is trying
Back
to
to
bring
Tillman.
back Jesus or something. And first what they have to do is sow chaos on earth to bring the Antichrist, which is going to, and then they're going to destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque and build the third temple, and then Jesus is going to have to return or something like that. And there's going to be some sort of like rapture, some sort of holy rapture, and like
This sounds
Tell
very
me
Christian for
more.
the Israeli government. Yeah, we usually don't do Jesus over there,
Right.
But the temple part.
but it's something like to bring back like a messianic age for some
you
reason.
might be thinking of the Jewish Messiah, because the Messiah will come.
That's what I meant.
The
The
Messiah
Jewish
will come.
Messiah. Who is
Yeah.
the Jewish Messiah?
Well,
That's it.
yeah. So there in Judaism, there's a Messiah that will come at the end times. Very similar to in Christianity. Christianity is based on Judaism to a great extent. So when Jesus became, Lord and Savior to Christians, they went back and read the Old Testament. And in the Old Testament, they found there was a Messiah figure. So they tried to make the Messiah figure in the Old Testament the same as Jesus. So they kind of united them into one. But from the perspective of Jews, they're not one. They're different. They see Jesus as a human being, and they see the Messiah as the Messiah. And there's no connection between the two.
Right.
Yeah. So in Jewish theology, there is going to be a return of the Messiah, and all the dead will rise, and everyone will be happy, and so on and so forth. And what a lot of Jews believe is that in order for that to happen, you have to rebuild the temple. And the temple is where the Al-Aqsa Mosque currently is. So that would require destroying the Al-Aqsa Mosque and building the temple on that same spot.
Oh, don't build on the same spot. That's when Armageddon will come.
Christ is a pharmaceutical term.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, the case Amin makes, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the first time the word Christ was ever used in Greek was from Homer, and it's been used hundreds of times before Jesus Christ.
Correct.
And Amin specializes in ancient pharmacology and ancient pharmacy, and he uses that context to corroborate all of this other historical writing we have from Homer and everything else, talking about Christing arrows with poisons and all kinds of Christing, right? Applying something to the skin, to the eyes, to an arrow, to something else. And he's taking that and connecting it to Jesus Christ, saying that Jesus was someone who was known and was connected to drugs. Is that about right?
Correct. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Correct.
We have the reference. Bring up Odysseus. It's a gorgeous picture.
So he has tons of references, and he sent us in our group chat a whole list of
I read them all.
Hundreds of references.
Read them all. Yeah.
Just to make a long story short, you can tell by having read all those references, and you read hundreds. I sent you over 100. If you search for all the compounds of Christing, you're going to find thousands and thousands. This is like not an unusual word. That's why when Bart Ehrman came along and said, I doubt if Christing came before the Septuagint, why he looks so bad, because it's overwhelming, the history of this word. Biblical scholars have no idea what Christing is. They don't know it's an actual drug. They don't know the action of Christing as somebody applying a drug. They don't know that chrio is associated with oestrus, the sting of the gadfly. The Greeks had established in mental changes, frustration, craziness, mania, right? Those are all associated with being Christing. We have it in Aeschylus himself with Io, right? And she says, what about this? I'm being Christed by this powerful mind-altering thing.
So from the arguments I've heard against Amin, me using my best judgment is that what most people believe is that Christing was applying something. It could have been drugs. It could have been a roof. It could have been a coating underneath the ship to make ships more buoyant. They would Christ them.
Sure.
And that's the way it is. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Be sure to comment below. I read each and every one because there is none. See ya.